Right now, we are hearing from the family of a Madison student shot by a BB getting off the bus and how they hope this incident will bring about positive change.
And a local rec center is doing something good and helping students impacted by one of the recent school shootings here in Wisconsin. We'll show you how.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, folks, and thanks for joining us on your Thursday, December 5th. I'm Leah Lynchide.
And I'm Josh Breiter. Two 13-year-old boys are facing charges this morning after Madison police found a BB gun in Jefferson Middle School.
They say it's the same one used to shoot a girl as she was getting off a school bus Tuesday. A day later, police stopped the school bus and arrested the teenager accused of shooting that student. Officers also took another 13-year-old boy into custody after finding the BB gun in his locker at Jefferson Middle while students were in class.
We're hearing from the student who was shot and her family this morning. Police say Zaria Murray got in a fight with the boy accused of shooting the BB gun on the bus the day after the incident. Her dad says that got her suspended. The family hopes this incident will help bring change.
Shouldn't be bringing no type of weapon to school on a school bus or anything, so you know, whether the school do something about it, whether the parents do something about it, whether the cops do something about it, I just hope something get done about it. I just glad that my daughter's okay.
The Madison School District wouldn't do an interview with us, but Jefferson's principal sent a follow-up email with more information about the incident, saying support services will be available for students.
Around the state, 3 students ages 12, 13, and 14 are in custody for allegedly making a shooting threat against a middle school there on social media. Milwaukee Public Schools found out about the threat and immediately told police. Just one of the students arrested attends the school at the center of those threats. The district attorney's office is now reviewing the case.
Most students in the Oshkosh School District will be back in school this morning, except those at the high school where a student was shot. The district announced the schedule one day after a 16-year-old student at Oshkosh West stabbed school resource officer Micheal Wiac. Wiac then shot the student.
With so many kids out of class there, one local rec center came up with a plan to give them something to do. Kids up to 18 years old were invited to spend their Wednesday at the Oshkosh YMCA. Several businesses donated food for the kids, and they were able to use all of the facilities free of charge.
It's good that the local Y does things like this to get the kids out, be able to do something, spend some time, get their mind off the tragic thing that didn't happen.
Oshkosh West High students will go back to school on Friday. Until then, athletic practices and events district-wide start back up today.
As Wisconsinites grapple with multiple incidents of gun violence around the state, tourists and locals are looking to learn more about an apparent murder-suicide at Pearl Harbor.
Like there was a is it real, is it fake, is it real, is it fake type thing, but you know, our first response is to come here. You know, we have dozens of friends that live on base, still on board and things like that, that's in that general area, so concerned, worried, be the words to use, I guess.
2 civilian shipyard employees are dead after a U.S. Navy sailor started shooting at a naval shipyard at Pearl Harbor yesterday. Another civilian employee is hurt this morning, and the gunman is dead from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. The shipyard is across the harbor from the National Pearl Harbor Memorial, where the 78th anniversary of the Japanese attack on the base will be marked on Saturday. The names of the victims haven't been released.
We are following overnight news of a fire out in Rio. It started just after 1 this morning off Highway 22. Fire crews think it was a chicken coop that was on fire. We're told there aren't any injuries reported, but it's not clear whether any animals were in the coop or if they were hurt.
Coming up on 6:04, Hattie's here now with your out-the-door forecast. Another nice day in store, Hats.
It certainly is. We've had quiet weather all week. We have something new to show you this morning. This is the shoe forecast. I have to make these decisions every day. What type of shoe am I going to wear today?
What is the pick today?
You can wear the pretty ones today.
Oh.
You can wear the heels. The weather shouldn't ruin any shoes today. No rain or snow in the forecast. Relatively mild temperatures for December. And most importantly, no ice anywhere across southern Wisconsin. So that's the good news.
Break out the heels, John.
It's mainly for the ladies.
Oh my goodness.
All right, here's a look at our temperatures. We're still dropping with clear skies here in southern Wisconsin. 23 in Madison, 30 though in Mineral Point, 27 this morning in Janesville. Our temperatures today are headed back into the low 40s, 41 for the high. Winds will be lighter than they were yesterday. So even though we have more clouds, I think it's going to be a pretty nice day today. Taking a look at your traffic report this morning, no major issues to tell you about right now. Just a few brake lights showing up on the Beltline right around Stoughton Road. That's typical for this time of the morning. I did look around southern Wisconsin. There are no accidents to report. Coming up in just a few minutes, we will talk about that extended forecast that does keep mild temperatures in the area this weekend. But guys, here's your warning. It is going to turn colder next week.
Oh boy.
Significantly colder.
So my mom's got some good stories from me as a kid with the heels. I used to go into her closet and put them on and wear them around the house because I like the clippy-cloppy sound.
See, meanwhile, I was wearing my dad's cowboy boots.
To each his own.
Yeah.
No judgment here.
It's a cowboy boot day, Dad.
We're so different. I love it.
All right. Thank you, Eddie.
You're welcome.
All right, this first alert traffic note as you get ready to head out the door this morning. Only one lane of the interstate going southbound will be open starting at 8 a.m. It runs between Town Line Road and Kennedy Road just north of Janesville near the rest area. Backups and delays are expected in this area, so be sure to plan ahead and consider taking a different route. That construction will clear up by noon.
You will be able to drive over one of Janesville's busiest bridges this morning. The Milwaukee Street Bridge has been closed for more than a year now because of high water and weather delaying construction. The DOT says the bridge's walkways will reopen after the winter season.
Looking ahead now, the Madison Area Transportation Board is moving forward with a DOT proposal that would let you drive on the shoulder of the Beltline during peak traffic hours. They're calling it dynamic part-time shoulder use, and it passed on a 10-3 vote. Supporters of the project say the pavement is already there and it'll make commute times more consistent. People against the plan say narrow lanes are more dangerous and could make it harder for first responders to get to calls. The DOT will be doing an environmental noise study on the project early next year before any construction can happen. The UW-Madison Division of Diversity, Equity, and Educational Achievement's annual report shows what they're calling one of the busiest and most productive academic years in its history. The report highlights campus climate initiatives revolving around issues like sexual assault and retention for historically underrepresented students. They also cite faculty of color increased from 17 to 21% in the past few years, and that the graduation rates are increasing faster among students from those same groups. The report shows there are 174 different diversity initiatives across the campus.
Wisconsin Public Radio is reporting this morning on a new effort to get you or your kids to take online courses for college. Later this week, the Board of Regents will talk about how to double online enrollments over the next 5 years. They plan to do that by adding 2 new online programs a year. Board members say this is in response to a change in demographics at colleges, with more adults enrolling in classes.
To campaign 2020 now, we are a week away from knowing who will participate in the next Democratic debate. Candidates have until next Thursday to qualify for the December 19th debate in Los Angeles. The new thresholds are expected to shrink the debate stage. Candidates have to be polling at 3% in at least 4 DNC-approved polls and have donations from 165,000 separate donors, with a minimum of 600 donors each in at least 20 states or territories. Under these new terms, Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, and Elizabeth Warren have already met the threshold.
Breaking news just into the Channel 3000 Alert Center. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi will be making an announcement later this morning on the status of the impeachment inquiry. This comes as lawmakers are considering testimony from 4 law professors invited by Democrats yesterday. 3 out of the 4 constitutional scholars say President Trump's alleged efforts to pressure Ukraine are an impeachable abuse of power. The 4th witness, Jonathan Turley, who's also a CBS contributor, told the committee that Democrats were moving too fast on too narrow a foundation.
All right, coming up on 6:09 this morning, and still ahead, we're learning more about the changes that could be coming to the food stamp program and how it could cost over 700,000 Americans their benefits, including tens of thousands here in Wisconsin.
And we are finally hitting 40 degrees today, but that won't be the case for long. Hattie says we're going to be back in the teens early next week. Say it ain't so. Our first alert forecast is up next on News 3 Now this morning.
For a clear, easy to understand forecast, watch First Alert Weather. This
Good morning from the Hattie-O patio. We've had relatively mild conditions this week, but it is December and the ice rink at the Edgewater opens this evening. So if you're planning on heading down, actually not bad conditions. It'll be a little mild this afternoon, but temperatures will be dropping to close to the freezing point by 8 p.m. this evening. So when you look at all things considered, not bad for ice skating this evening at the Edgewater. Here's a look at what's happening region-wide. There is a storm system that will move through the area tonight. We're just going to see clouds from this system, no precipitation. Any chance for snow stays well to our north. So a quiet forecast coming up once again for southern Wisconsin. Things are going to change, though, as we head through the weekend into next week. A storm system will bring some of that colder Canadian air down to the south, and you can see the upper air pattern starting Monday morning. That colder air, those pink shaded colors, indicating that it's cooling down already in the Dakotas. Well, watch what happens as we put this map into motion. By Tuesday afternoon, the core of the coldest air is almost right overhead, so it is going to be significantly colder heading into next week. Now, the temperatures will moderate a little bit as we head towards the end of the week, but it's still going to stay pretty cold. So enjoy these mild temperatures that we have this week. Today we're at 23 here in Madison. Skies are mostly clear. No wind chill, though, to talk of this morning, so that's good news. Temperatures all across southern Wisconsin are generally in the 20s. There is always an exception, though, and this time it's Mineral Point with 30 degrees. 23, though, in the Dells, 24 in Prairie du Chien. Janesville, you're at 27 degrees this morning. Winds are pretty light, though, for the entire area, so you don't have to worry about wind chill as you head out the door. South winds will increase a little bit today, but not much. They won't be as strong as they were yesterday. Now, overnight tonight, when that cold front moves through the area, the only thing that we'll notice is a shift in the wind direction. Northerly winds behind that front are going to cool us down on Friday. But for today, just look for an increase in the clouds. At 7 o'clock, you'll still likely need the sunglasses heading to work this morning, but cloudy by the lunch hour. Temperatures will top in the low 40s in many spots, but those clouds will hang tough through most of the region today. Overnight tonight, pretty quiet, as I mentioned, no precipitation in the forecast, but it will be colder tomorrow. I think you're going to notice that 10-degree drop in the temperatures tomorrow to a high of just 31. Lots of sunshine, though, in the forecast Friday and Saturday. Our next chance for precipitation comes late on Sunday in the form of rain, changing to snow on Monday as temperatures fall, and then looks very cold next week with highs only in the teens. Let's get you up to date on the latest traffic news this morning. We'll send it over to Josh Tim for all the details. Good morning, Josh.
Yeah, starting off looking good on the Beltline so far. Really no delays showing up yet in either direction at this point. Checking out some other roads here in Dane County, just starting to pick up on inbound John Nolan as you head into downtown. And there are a few brake lights on inbound East Washington near the 1st Street intersection. No delays downtown around campus. Plan on things getting busier over the next hour or so. And other main routes heading into Madison, they're still moving at the posted speeds with no crashes or delays. With your First Alert Traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
Thank you very much, Josh, and thank you, Hattie. More than 700,000 people could soon lose access to their food stamps. The Trump administration introduced a rule that would require food stamp recipients to work in order to get their benefits. The move is one of 3 administration efforts to overhaul the SNAP program.
One final committee meeting is all that stands between tens of thousands of state employees and their raises that were approved 7 months ago. Starting in January, state workers are expected to get a 2% raise doled out in 2020 and in 2021. But by law, there's one more step at the Joint Committee on the Employment Relations. The committee hasn't met all year and has no meeting scheduled for December. Now, unions who represent the employees at risk of losing their raises are hoping for action.
It's part of our culture as public servants to remind those who represent us that we take sacrifices each day to ensure that our communities are safe, healthy, and strong. And it's really, really important that they serve us as well and they look out for our best interests.
We reached out to both Senator Ross' office and Speaker Voss. A spokesperson for Voss said he couldn't sit down with us, but did let us know that the committee members didn't get details on a compensation plan until early November. However, we don't know why a meeting hasn't been scheduled since then. Until the new compensation plan is approved, the current plan stays in place.
All right, before you mail it in and buy that gift card for your mom this holiday season, there's a new warning about scams. The Better Business Bureau says thieves are known to remove gift cards from the display, record the numbers on the card, and then return it back to its place. To make sure you're not buying a car that someone else is actually using, take note of any tears or other damage to the packaging to check for tampering. It's also smart to register your car with the store, if that's an option, so you can document any issues when it's used. If you have a question about this kind of a scam, a suspicious business, or any consumer question, really, our Call for Action volunteers can help you out. They're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. You can reach them at that number right there on your screen. That's 608-270-2833.
6:17 is your time this morning. We're less than a month away from the recreational marijuana becoming legal in Illinois. Coming up, we're hearing a friendly reminder from Wisconsin law enforcement.
And Hattie's bringing us the warmest day of the week and her bus stop forecast. That's coming up next on News 3 Now this morning.
Don't forget.
Welcome back. 6:21 on your Thursday. We're waking up to a beautiful sunrise just starting.
Yeah, that's true. Enjoy the sun early because it's not going to stick around all day. That's the bad news. The good news is that it'll still be mild today. Here's a live look from the WISC-TV Sky Camera shot looking to the east, but in the north you can see a little bit of cloud cover already in southern Wisconsin. Here's a look at your weather track cloud map early today, showing you that there are some clouds north and east of Madison early today. Completely clear skies right now to the south and west. So again, look for an increase in the clouds all across the area today. Temperatures will start out in the 20s, already back to around 30 as you head to school this morning. Highs will once again be in the 40s, so another mild day for December standards, but look for more clouds this afternoon. Have a wonderful Thursday.
Thank you very much, Hattie. All 50 states are now dealing with a vaping-related lung injury case. The latest case comes from Alaska. The CDC reports as of November 20th, officials were dealing with more than 2,000 cases of lung injuries linked to vaping. At least 47 people have died across 25 states and the District of Columbia. The CDC is actively working with the FDA, states, and medical professionals to learn more about that outbreak.
As these cases of vaping-related illnesses continue to rise, Minnesota is announcing its intent to take e-cigarette giant Juul to court. The 82-page lawsuit claims Juul purposely, intentionally, and unlawfully directed its e-cigarette advertising model to youth. It also alleges the company has erased 10 years of progress in reducing the state's youth tobacco use. Hopkins High School senior Will Gettler began vaping to quit tobacco.
It was marketed as the safe alternative, and it seemed like that to me. That's what everyone was saying, so I bought into that.
Minnesota's suit follows California and New York also suing along similar grounds. Minnesota's lawsuit demands a jury trial and is seeking monetary damages along the lines of the 1998 Big Tobacco case, which settled out of court for $6 billion. Reports from the state crime lab show meth use is increasing in our area. In years past, most of the problem areas of meth use came from northern Wisconsin, but now the problem is shifting south. Since 2008, reported cases of meth use has quadrupled, with the Department of Justice reporting around 300 cases 10 years ago. This year, it's more than 1,200 cases.
A new marijuana dispensary is breaking ground just across the Wisconsin-Illinois state line. The city of South Beloit, Illinois, expects it to be up and running for the new year when marijuana becomes legal in the state. While city leaders are excited about the economic impact this could give that city, police here in Wisconsin are reminding people it is still illegal for us.
To be perfectly clear, marijuana continues to be illegal in Wisconsin. Don't put yourself in a bad spot by trying to bring it back here to Wisconsin and ending up having to deal with a criminal charge or something on your record that you probably don't want when you're out applying for a job.
A reminder, anyone caught driving high will face an OWI charge.
Legalizing weed in Illinois doesn't mean people can light up without penalties. There's a long list of places where weed won't be allowed, including at people's own homes. Smoking in public places isn't an option. Violators can be ticketed. This includes streets, parks, and schools. People in Illinois can't smoke in a car, behind the wheel of a boat, near someone who isn't 21, or around any public safety official. Violators can be ticketed for smoking at home, even if there are people outside who can see. Employees working in Illinois can also fire employees if they test positive for marijuana and it violates company policy.
A breakthrough study is happening in Madison right now. The FDA approved a clinic here to test how psilocybin, which is the active ingredient in magic mushrooms, can heal people who are clinically depressed. The USONA Institute of Madison is making the mind-altering drug in a lab. They're screening for 80 people to participate in their study to see how the drug can heal someone who is depressed. The study is done in a controlled setting. The director says this could be revolutionary to the medical field if it works.
We think right now the evidence suggests that a single treatment or 2 treatments of psilocybin in many people will have a benefit that will last at least several months and maybe longer.
Coming up tonight on News 3 Now at 10, our Jamie Perez is going to show us how this study is being done and the breakthrough findings they've already discovered.
6:25 is your time right now, and still ahead for us, we've got the top 3 things you need to know this morning before heading out the door.
And we're hearing from the family of the girl shot by a BB gun on a Madison school bus this week. What they want to see from the school district. That's when News 3 Now this morning returns.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for staying with us on this Thursday, December 5th. I'm Josh Breiter.
And I'm Leah Lynchide. Let's get straight to your top 3 headlines this morning. First, 2 civilians are dead and 1 is hurt after a U.S. sailor started shooting at Pearl Harbor yesterday. The violence broke out near a maintenance area for nuclear submarines. The sailor who died appears to have been hit by a self-inflicted gunshot.
Breaking into the Channel 3000 Alert Center this morning, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi will be giving an update on the impeachment inquiry in just a couple of hours. It comes after 3 out of the 4 constitutional scholars invited by Democrats say President Trump's alleged efforts to pressure Ukraine are an impeachable abuse of power.
And there is another reminder from police to stop idling your car before you leave for work. Officers say they've responded to calls of stolen cars every day this week. It's quite an uptick. A reminder, newer cars don't need to idle to warm up. Police say you can always lock your doors while you warm up your car and use a second set to get in.
Those are your top 3 things you need to know today. And Hattie's here now with your out-the-door weather and traffic update. Hi, Hads.
Good morning, Josh and Leah. We're off to a great start this morning. Take a look at the view from our Edgewater Sky Camera. Beautiful shot of the Capitol behind me with clear skies. Nice sunrise underway. Sun comes up at 7:13 this morning. Temperatures are in the 20s. Madison's actually one of the colder spots with 23 degrees this morning. It's still 27 in Janesville and close to 30 in Monroe. Temperatures throughout the day, though, will climb back into the 40s this afternoon. We're looking for another relatively mild day. Now, unlike yesterday, we're going to see more clouds, though, build in through the morning. So enjoy that sunshine early. Here's a look at your first alert traffic maps this morning. No major issues to report right now here in and around Madison. Looks like your drive times into the city still looking normal for this time of the day. Coming up in about 10 minutes, we will talk about how things change heading into the upcoming weekend, especially the second part of the weekend and then next week. It is going to turn significantly colder around here by the time we get to Tuesday.
Changes. All right, Hattie, thank you. To the headlines this morning, 2 13-year-old boys are facing charges this morning after Madison police found a BB gun in Jefferson Middle School.
They say it's the same one used to shoot a girl as she was getting off of a school bus Tuesday. A day later, police stopped the school bus and arrested the teen accused of shooting that student. Officers also took another 13-year-old boy into custody after finding the BB gun in his locker at Jefferson Middle while students were in class.
We're also hearing from the student who was shot and her family this morning. Police say Zaria Murray got in a fight with the boy accused of shooting the BB gun on the bus the day after the incident. Her dad says that got her suspended. The family is hoping this incident will help bring change.
You shouldn't be bringing no type of weapon to school on a school bus or anything. So, you know, whether the school do something about it, whether the parents do something about it, whether the cops do something about it, I just hope something get done about it. I just glad that my daughter's okay.
The Madison Metropolitan School District wouldn't do an interview, but Jefferson's principal sent a follow-up email with more information about the incident, saying support services will be available for students.
Around the state, 3 students ages 12, 13, and 14 are in custody for allegedly making a shooting threat against a middle school there on social media. Milwaukee Public Schools found out about the threat and immediately told police. Just one of the students arrested attends the school at the center of those threats. The district attorney's office is now reviewing the case.
Most students in the Oshkosh School District will be back in school this morning, except those at the high school where a student was shot. The district announced the schedule one day after a 16-year-old student at Oshkosh West stabbed school resource officer Micheal Wiac. Wiac then shot the student. Oshkosh West high school students will go back tomorrow. However, athletic practices and events district-wide will start back up today. The man suspected of hitting and killing a pedestrian last month is due back in court today. Sean Jones was released on a $500 signature bond after the fatal crash in November. It happened on Highway 12 on November 4th. As part of this bond, a judge ordered Jones not to drive or use drugs or alcohol. He's facing a tentative charge of operating on a revoked license causing death.
As a Willie Street butcher shop plans to close in just a matter of weeks, we're learning more about the legal issues its owner is currently facing. According to the Isthmus, the co-founder of Underground Butcher, Johnny Hunter, is dealing with a number of legal battles. Those allege he has almost $60,000 in unpaid taxes and more than $10,000 in unpaid unemployment taxes. There's also a $175,000 dispute over a restaurant that never launched, where the investors claim Hunter mismanaged funds. Hunter declined to comment to Isthmus, citing pending litigation, but he claims the back taxes are a misunderstanding.
The city of Sun Prairie is getting ready to welcome a new police chief. The Sun Prairie Police Commission has approved the hiring of Micheal Steffes. He has 25 years of law enforcement experience and most recently served as the Deputy Administrator for the State Department of Justice. Steffes will begin at the department on December 30th.
Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway says all flags will be flown at half-staff today in honor of former Mayor Joel Skornica. He died last month of a suspected blood clot. He was mayor from 1979 to 1983. A visitation and memorial service will be at Olbrich Botanical Gardens today. He was 82 years old. More local news now. 4 teens are in the hospital this morning after crashing a stolen car. It happened about a block away from Madison East High School. The 15-year-old boy behind the wheel didn't stop when a police officer tried pulling them over. Per department policy, the officer did not pursue the car. The passengers were 2 13-year-old girls and a 16-year-old girl. All 4 are expected to be okay. Home surveillance video shows the car being stolen from a home on Hammersley Road hours earlier. The car's owner tells us he left the car running in the driveway while he ran inside to grab his bag. He says his keys were with him, so as long as the thieves didn't turn the car off, it could keep running.
A scary situation has a happy ending thanks to a Madison police officer. You may remember last week when dozens of shots were fired in a neighborhood on Cottage Grove Road. Well, one of those bullets pierced the bedroom wall of a sleeping child and hit her stuffed shark. Well, now that girl named Isaiah has a brand new mama shark thanks to Officer Radzicki of the MPD. The department posted the pictures of the big surprise on social media.
A little heartwarming there. I love that story.
I love that. You know how important that those furry animals can be to those kids, so it's cool to see that.
You don't even notice all the stuff the law enforcement does behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Big deal there.
A lot of appreciation.
All right, still ahead in the morning sprint, we are telling you about a stolen car incident that put 4 teens in the hospital.
And we're telling you how you can grab a drink for a good cause, all in the spirit of the holidays. Keep watching News 3 Now this morning. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. 6:39 on your Thursday. Just a gorgeous photo here by Linda Watson. She's always sending us beautiful ones, but the stark contrast of the dark and the light here is stunning.
That's something I want on my living room wall right there.
Linda, do you sell?
Seriously.
Give us a call.
I am willing to buy.
That is beautiful. Thanks so much for sending that one in, Linda.
If you've got a photo like Linda's you'd like to share with us, please do so. You can just send it to us over on our social media pages. So if you're looking for an opportunity to try a new restaurant or new drink, you could support a good cause while doing so.
This is pretty neat. This month, Beloit's Geronimo Hospitality Group is partnering with Tito's Handmade Vodka to offer some festive drinks. Tito's will make a $2 donation to the Rock County Cancer Coalition for every signature drink purchased in December. They'll match every donation up to $3,500. Participating restaurants include Lucy's No. 7 Burger Bar, Merrill and Houston's Steak Joint, and others.
If you're looking for a way to get into the holiday spirit with your family this weekend, you are in luck. Marcus Theaters is bringing back their Holiday Classics Retro series over the next couple of weeks. This week, you can see Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, White Christmas, and Elf on the big screen. Other classics coming soon include It's a Wonderful Life, The Polar Express, and Christmas Vacation, Leah.
Oh, I should take that up.
You still haven't seen it. That's so crazy.
Oh my gosh.
You can check your local theater for the showtime.
There you go. There's my chance. Okay, in case you didn't know, folks, they are always giving me crap on this show for never seeing that show.
I still can't believe this is. We're gonna make it happen. It's about time.
Oh, date night for News 3 Now this morning. I'm excited for that. Okay, strap on your skates. The ice rink at the Edgewater is now open.
The rink will be open 4 until 9 Wednesdays through Fridays, 10 to 9 on Saturdays, and 10 to 6 on Sundays. There won't be any skating on Christmas Day, but the ice is open from 10 until 9 on New Year's Eve and Day.
The cost of admission is $7 for adults, $6 for students. Seniors and kiddos ages 5 to 12 are $4, and anyone under the age of 4 is free. Skate rentals are $3, or you can bring your own. Have you ever been?
I have not been there. I was going to ask you if you ever ice skated before.
I'm not a huge ice skater, but I have been here. It's really stunning with Lake Mendota in the background, and it's actually one of Zach and I's first dates. So.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Yeah,
romantic.
that's a beautiful setting there. So we should another News 3 Now this morning date out there.
Just all the holiday traditions starting this year.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
I love it.
All right, coming up, Patty's got the warmest day of the week for us in her forecast, but we're going to be shifting back to the teens soon. Oofda. That's some skating weather right there.
Oofda indeed.
Beautiful shot of the sunrise there. Hattie's in next with her forecast.
But first, it's Thursday, December 5th. We want to say happy birthday to Bo and all the kids turning 3 today. What a cutie. Thanks for celebrating with us here on News 3 Now this morning. Have a good day, Bo.
For an accurate forecast you can trust, watch First Alert Weather. Look who's
Good morning from the News 3 Now First Alert Weather Center. We're off to a great start this morning. Take a look behind me, a live view from the Edgewater Sky Cam. Nice shot of the Capitol and the sunrise this morning. Quiet weather continues right into the weekend. It's holiday time, and if you have parties planned for this Saturday, here's a planner. Weather-wise, looking pretty good. If you're traveling around the area, you don't have to worry about any slippery conditions. Temperatures will actually be quite mild Saturday night, only dropping back into the mid-30s by 11 p.m. After that, though, things do start to change up. Here's a look at our future track forecast model. We have some light rain starting to develop across southern Wisconsin. This is Sunday at 4 p.m. So the morning on Sunday will be dry. The rain develops late in the afternoon and then continues into the evening hours. It will be cold enough for snow in the north woods late Sunday night. As we head into Monday morning, though, still might see a mix of precipitation here across southern Wisconsin. But with falling temperatures through the day, we'll see a change over to snow for our area. And then that snow will continue into Tuesday morning as well. Still a little early to put amounts on that particular system, but what I can tell you is that it is going to cool down quite a bit behind that storm system. Tuesday at 6 p.m., temperatures in the teens. It'll be a very cold day on Tuesday. Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, we drop into the single digits, likely below zero in the north woods. And then as we head through the day on Wednesday, not much better. So cold temperatures will stick around through much of next week. Here's a look at Doppler track this morning. Some light snow activity well to the north in the far north woods into the UP of Michigan. Nothing happening here across southern Wisconsin. We have clear skies and calm winds, so no wind chill to talk about this morning. Our temperatures are in the 20s, 23 in Madison, 24 in the Dells. Prairie to Sheen, you're at 25 degrees this morning. A little bit warmer along the state line where we have 27 in Janesville and Monroe. Now, not much of a wind right now, but south winds will kick in this afternoon around 8 to 15 miles an hour by the lunch hour. So a little breezy at times, but not as bad as yesterday. There will be a cold front moving through the region late tonight, and about the only thing we'll notice is a shift in the wind direction. Northerly winds will bring colder temperatures tomorrow. Your future track forecast model for today, though, calls for an increase in the clouds. By lunchtime, take a look at the cloud cover forecast for the area. We'll lose that sunshine today, even though it's still going to be mild. Highs will be in the low 40s. Here's a look at your extended forecast then. We have temperatures that will drop into the 20s overnight tonight, but only climb to the low 30s tomorrow. So noticeably colder tomorrow, mild again for the weekend, and then a big cool down for next week. Let's take a look at our pet walk picture. Oh, Gus and Arena, he's all ready for that cool down. All snuggled up in the blanket, ready to watch the Badgers Saturday night.
I was going to say, he's the right kind of fan.
Oh
Josh.
my gosh. Oh, stop it.
Minnesota fan over here.
No.
We won't
say anything.
Thank you, Annie.
You're welcome.
Stay with us for the morning sprint up next. 6:51, time for the morning sprint as we give you everything you need to know before heading out the door.
We start with a story we've been following here in Madison. Two 13-year-old boys are facing charges after Madison police found a BB gun in Jefferson Middle School. They say it's the same one used to shoot a girl as she was getting off a school bus Tuesday. Police stopped the bus and arrested the teen accused of shooting that student Wednesday morning. Officers took another 13-year-old boy into custody after finding the BB gun in his locker at Jefferson Middle School during school hours.
3 students ages 12, 13, and 14 are in custody for allegedly making a shooting threat against a Milwaukee middle school on social media. Milwaukee Public Schools found out about the threat and immediately told police. Just one of the students arrested attends the school at the center of the threats. The district attorney's office is now reviewing the case.
Most students in the Oshkosh School District will be back in school this morning, except those at the high school where a student was shot. The district announced the schedule one day after a 16-year-old at Oshkosh West stabbed school resource officer Micheal Wiac. Wiac then shot the student. Oshkosh West High students will go back on Friday.
2 civilians are dead and 1 is hurt after a U.S. sailor started shooting at Pearl Harbor yesterday. The violence broke out near a maintenance area for nuclear submarines. A sailor died from what appears to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
We are following overnight news of a fire out in Rio. It started just after 1 this morning off Highway 22. Fire crews think it was a chicken coop that was on fire. We're told there aren't any injuries, but it's not clear whether any animals were in the coop or if they were hurt.
And our forecast starts with clear skies for most of the area. Some cloud cover already working in areas north and east of Madison. These clouds are going to be spreading southward through the day today, so look for an increase in the clouds. Temperatures, though, will still be on the mild side. We're headed to highs in the low 40s this afternoon.
Hattie, thank you. A reminder from police this morning to stop idling your car before leaving for work. Officers say they've responded to calls of unattended cars stolen every day this week. Police say you can always lock your doors while you warm up your car and use a second set to get in.
This reminder comes after 4 teens were hospitalized after crashing a stolen car a block away from Madison East High School. The 15-year-old boy behind the wheel didn't stop when a police officer tried to pull them over. Home surveillance video shows the car being stolen from a home on Hammersley Road just hours earlier. When the car's owner left the car running in the driveway to go back inside for his bag, the passengers were 2 13-year-old girls and a 16-year-old girl.
Breaking into the Channel 3000 Alert Center this morning, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi will be giving an update on the impeachment inquiry in just a couple of hours. It comes after 3 out of 4 constitutional scholars invited by Democrats say President Trump's alleged efforts to pressure Ukraine are an impeachable abuse of power.
More than 700,000 people could soon lose their access to food stamps. The Trump administration introduced a final rule that would require food stamp recipients to work in order to get the benefits. The move is one of 3 Trump administration efforts to overhaul the SNAP program.
All 50 states are now dealing with a vaping-related lung injury case. The CDC reports as of November 20th, officials were dealing with more than 2,000 cases of lung injuries linked to vaping. At least 47 people have died across 25 states and the District of Columbia. The CDC is actively working with the FDA, states, and medical professionals to learn more about this outbreak.
Minnesota is announcing its intent to take e-cigarette giant Juul to court. The 82-page lawsuit claims Juul purposely, intentionally, and unlawfully directed its e-cigarette advertising to youth. Minnesota's lawsuit demands a jury trial and is seeking monetary damages along the lines of the 1998 Big Tobacco case, which settled out of court for $6 billion.
The man suspected of hitting and killing a pedestrian last month is due back in court today. Sean Jones was released on a $500 signature bond after the fatal crash in November. It happened on Highway 12 on November 4th. As part of that bond, a judge ordered Jones not to drive or use drugs or alcohol. He's facing a tentative charge of operating on a revoked license, causing death.
A first alert traffic note for you this morning. Only one lane of the interstate going southbound will be open starting at 8. It runs between Town Line Road and Kennedy Road, just north of Janesville, near the rest area. Backups and delays are expected, so be sure to plan ahead and consider taking a different route. That construction should clear up by noon.
You will be able to drive over one of Janesville's busiest bridges this morning. The Milwaukee Street Bridge has been closed for more than a year because of high water and that delayed construction there. The DOT says the bridge's walkways will reopen after the winter season.
The Madison Area Transportation Board is moving forward with a DOT proposal that would let you drive on the shoulder of the Beltline during peak traffic hours. They're calling it dynamic part-time shoulder use, and it passed on a 10-3 vote. Supporters of the project say it will make commute times more consistent. People against the plan say narrow lanes are more dangerous and could make it harder for first responders to get to calls.
And speaking of those drive times, 6:56, Josh Tim has a look at your first alert traffic. Hi, Josh.
Hey guys, westbound side of the Beltline is definitely getting busier now with some brake lights between Stoughton Road and West Broadway. It's going to add a couple minutes to your drive time. Inbound side of John Nolan, you're picking up near the Rimrock, and then again at Olin Avenue intersections, making your way heading into downtown. And other main routes coming into Madison, they're still moving at the posted speeds right now with no major crashes or delays. Your first alert traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
Josh, thank you.
And here's a live look from the WISC-TV Sky Camera looking to the east as the sun comes up this morning. Still about 15 minutes before the sun officially peaks above the horizon. Skies are mostly clear here in Madison, but looking pretty good through the day today. Even though an increase in the clouds is expected, high temperatures will be right around 40 degrees later on this afternoon. So one more day in the 40s. We are going to cool things down as we head into Friday and then especially next week. I've been warning you, it is going to get significantly colder around here starting on Tuesday.
Break out the big heavy parkas. Thanks, Sadie. Yes.
Thanks so much for joining us this morning, folks. Take a little bit of time for your family on this Thursday. Enjoy those warmer temperatures, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning.